JPC letters. The Tibetan states, our solar system is one of these 7 constellations. Esoteric Psychology 1. 332. The star Mizar is not one star, but is in fact a double binary orbiting one another, along with Alcor, which is also binary, and orbiting Mizar. Thus they form a constellation of 6 stars, and along with our solar logos, forms a constellation of at least 7 stars, and 8 with Sirius. The Tibetan states, the attractive energy which emanates from one of the major centers of that great existence who is the source of the life of the solar logos. This center is of course one of the 7 constellations. As it is the most potent constellation as far as our system is concerned, owing to the fact that this system predominantly expresses love or attractive energy, and our logos is as yet polarized in his cosmic astral body. TCF 1250. DK clearly indicates the love and attractive energy of the constellation associated with our logos and system. The second ray of love, wisdom, is of note, and the second star of the Great Bear and its group known as Alcor, a binary, and Mizar, a quad double binary system. Mizar is posited as ray 2, and is star 2 of Ursa Major. In 2009, astronomers concluded that gravitational attraction exists between the Alcor binary and Mizar quad systems. Mizar and the other rishis are referred to in occultism as lead stars and as being not planetary. This speaks to the fact that they have no planets orbiting them but often have another star in orbit with them. Mizar, A and B, are the major stars that form the chief component of the second ray lead rishi. Binary stars are not uncommon, and some estimates state that they are 80% higher in ratio than single stars. Mizar A and Mizar B are themselves binary stars. But, the companions are too close to be directly observed as separate stars, even by the largest telescopes. NASA.gov website. DK states it must be added that the third type of motion to which our system is subjected, that of progress onward, is the result of the united activity of the 7 constellations, our solar system forming one of the 7. And this hints as to the attraction existing between the 7 constellations that compose the 7 leading stars of the Great Bear, and our system. He states, the type of motion to which our system is subjected, this indicates that our solar system forming one of the 7 constellations, is subject to, note that word, the united drift and influence of the 7 constellations. Let us again note the Tibetan's words. Our solar system forming one of the 7 constellations. This paper, which somewhat repeats itself so as to allow us to contemplate the subject, deals only with the 7 solar systems, of which our solar system is one. These 7 systems are also termed the 7 constellations, and the fact that we form as a constellation, with one of the 7 constellational systems, namely, Mizar. Therefore, we are in constellation with one of the 7 lead stars of the Great Bear, or Ursa Major. We should also recall that DK tells us that aside from one other system being of the same magnitude as ours, they are all greater, and that Sirius is part of one of those greater systems. Therefore we are in here hypothetically in constellation with Sirius. DK states, the greater system of Sirius. TCF 1265. We have an illustration of a constellation, being in this case Sirius with Sirius V, and orbiting with Sirius A. They form a constellation of 2 known stars with a smaller third star suspected. However, the Sirius constellation, classified by DK as 2 or more stars, is a major one. Inclusive of Sirius, DK states that the Great Bear and the Pleiades are 3 major conditioning constellations. This is in view of the fact that, They are certainly leading stars of their own constellations and in their own right. The second law is the law of attraction and repulsion. Fundamentally, the law describes the compelling force of attraction that holds our solar system to the Syrian. TCF 568. The Tibetan teaches that our solar system is held in attraction to the Syrian system. Syrian energies include the love, wisdom of the second ray, holding our system in attraction to, and forming part of the consciousness of the Syrian logos. In turn, the Syrian logos forms part of the consciousness of one of the lead star of Ursa Major. This clearly holds us in constellation with Sirius, and I posit, Mizar, as the great second ray lead rishi. The energies coming from the sun, Sirius, are related to the love-wisdom aspect or to the attractive power of the solar logos. EA 416. This fire of mind has its source in a constellation until recently unrecognized by esoteric science as having any relation of an intimate nature to our solar system, owing to its tremendous distance away. The sun Sirius is the source of logoic manas. EA 680. Our logos loses not his identity, even though he forms part of the consciousness of the logos of Sirius. In his turn, the Syrian logos forms one of the 7 grand heavenly men, who are the centers in the body of one of whom naught may be said. TCF 572. Above DK makes it known that the Syrian logos forms part of the consciousness of one of the great rishis, a grand heavenly man, yet we are also told that the Syrian constellation is a major constellation in its own right, as are the leading rishis and Pleiades. So as lead stars they form non-planetary constellations, yet when our system, the Syrian, and one of the rishis are concerned, they form part of each other's consciousness, and a constellation of a certain type. He says, a constellation until recently unrecognized by exoteric science as having any relation of an intimate nature to our solar system, owing to its tremendous distance away. The Sun Sirius. TCF 347. We must recall that it is the 7 non-planetary leading stars that form the 7 head centers of the one about whom naught may be said. See, A Treatise on Cosmic Fire, page 182. So in the above, DK definitely speaks of the 7 constellations, headed by the 7 rishis that are the leading stars of those 7 constellations. These 7 lead rishis each have a notable solar system, of which ours is one, thus the 7 solar form part of 7 constellations also, as I have spoken of. As to which head center in the one about whom naught may be said we are considering, our second-ray constellation of love-wisdom is here hypothesized, as being the second-ray heart center within the head of the great cosmic logos. Above, another reference on how one of the 7 constellations is the source of life and love and attractive energy, of the second ray, for our solar logos. I consider Mizar, Alcor, Sirius and our solar logos as being in second-ray constellation together. A constellation consists of 2 or more solar systems or series of suns with their attendant planets. EP 152. End. Let us study some of his words on the 7 rishis. The book Esoteric Astrology, of Alice Bailey, states 1. The 7 rishis are the regents of the 7 stars of the Great Bear, and, therefore, of the same nature as the angels of the planets or the 7 great planetary spirits. SD Volume 2, 332, Note 2. It is the 7 rishis who mark the time and the duration of events in our septenary life cycle. They are as mysterious as their supposed wives, the Pleiades. SD Volume 2, 579. 3. The first 7 stars are not planetary. They are the leading stars of 7 constellations which turn around with the Great Bear, St. Volume 3, 195. End. Again, DK clearly informs us that our solar system forms one of the 7 constellations and therefore is part of a constellation with one of the great rishis, and its other allied constellational stars, for example, Alcor, a binary, and Mizar, a quad-double binary system. Mizar and Alcor are both members of the Ursa Major moving group, as astronomically accepted. And here we recall the Tibetans' words, the leading stars of 7 constellations which turn around with the Great Bear. This paper considers in some detail how our solar system is part of, or forming, a constellation of stars, in accordance with the teaching of the Tibetan master. JPC. August 12, 2014. The Tibetan states, scientists have not yet admitted into their calculations the fact that our solar system is revolving around a cosmic center along with 6 other constellations of even greater magnitude in the majority of cases than ours, only one being approximately of the same magnitude as our solar system. TCF 1084. A cosmic center around which our system, and the greater system of Sirius, revolves. TCF 1265. Stars, the website, informs us. Astronomical data. Mizar, Zeta Ursa Majoris. One of the most famed stars of the sky, second magnitude, 2.06, Mizar, 78 light-years away, is the Zeta star of Ursa Major, the Greater Bear, the second star in from the end of the handle of the Big Dipper, and the Dipper's 4th brightest star. In large part its fame comes from the coupling of the star with a nearby visual companion, 4th magnitude Alcor, only 11.8 minutes of arc, a fifth of a degree, to the northeast. The two, Mizar and Alcor, termed the horse and rider by the Arabians, are a good test of minimal vision. The star's Arabic name derives from a word meaning the groin of the celestial bear that plods silently around the north celestial pole, the name mistakenly drawn from Merak, in the Dipper's bowl. However, even without Alcor, Mizar takes its place in the Celestial Hall of Fame as the first known double star, one that consists of a pair of stars that orbit each other. Found to be double in 1650, Mizar is a prime target for someone with a new telescope, as the components are an easy 14 seconds of arc apart, at least 500 astronomical units, the two taking at least 5,000 years to make their orbit about each other. Mizar has the distinction of being the first known double, the pairing discovered by G.B. Riccioli in 1650. The two white stars, 14 seconds of arcade apart, are striking as seen through a small telescope. The apparent irregularity of the images is caused by turbulence in the Earth's refracting atmosphere, twinkling. The two nicely illustrate the dramatic decrease in luminosity that accompanies a small change in dwarf spectral class, from A2, Mizar A, the brighter, to A5 or A7, Mizar B, the result of a small decrease in mass. The two orbit with a period of at least 5,000 years. Each is a close double, the components too close to separate here.